Welcome back to the Manifest Magic podcast. And today we're going to be talking about positive thinking. And what made us think about this topic is we had a parent meeting, and my cross country coach was saying how we're not allowed to talk negative. We're only allowed to have positive thinking because otherwise it just not only puts yourself in a bad mood, but it puts everyone else around you in a bad mood. And we just thought it'd be good to talk about how much positive thinking can really change your life.
Yeah, it can change every aspect of everything that you do. And so we looked up, there's been a lot of experiments and research studies on positive thoughts and talking positive versus negative, and how it can change your health, your outcomes, the way people respond to you, just pretty much everything. So we're going to talk about just a few of the many studies that are out there. So the first one, this is a very popular study. It was with Dr. Masaru Emoto, and he did positive affirmations with water. And this was really interesting because he had two sets of water in two different rooms. And what he would do is he would go and label the water containers with positive words. So he had a water container with the word love and gratitude on it. And then he would have another water container and it would say hate or anger. And the water that was exposed to positive words formed these beautiful symmetrical crystals when it was frozen. It looked like really pretty snowflakes and all these cool geometric shapes. And then the water that was exposed to negative words, it formed these really disorganized, fragmented crystals, and it looked really yucky under a microscope. And so it just was crazy that the only thing that was different was being exposed to positive words versus negative words. And just think about how our bodies are mostly made up of water. So just imagine when you're thinking negative and you're talking negative, how much that could be literally changing you as a person because we're made up of mostly water.
Yeah, so then next I'm going to talk about a study by an Indian botanist, Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose's research, and this was formed in the 1920s, so it's been around for a while. So he was an early pioneer in plant research, and he conducted experiments showing that plants could feel pain and respond to emotions. So he used this certain instrument, and he measured responses in plants to music, words, and emotions. And he suggested that plants could react positively to more loving attention and also negative attention. And so he found that plants were sensitive to their environment. So kind of how that one guy did with the water, where he was having positive words said to one thing and then negative to the other. And it really showed that even plants can hear and interpret human words, and it actually contributed to how the plants were growing. So the one that was had more positive things said to it grew, and the other one didn't grow as well as the other one did.
Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast episode the other day, and this guy was talking about that. I guess he grows watermelons, and he was saying how he's the only person in his town that can grow watermelons. I guess the area and the soil and everything isn't good for growing them. And everyone's like, what is your secret? And he's like, I literally every single day I go out there and I pull the weeds and I talk to my watermelons and I tell them how beautiful they are and how I love them. And I pray over them and I give gratitude for them. And he's like, I swear that's all I'm doing that is anything different than what anyone else would do. And he's like, and they grow and they're beautiful.
That's I've heard things on people who sing to plants to make them grow. And I kind of wonder if that's true.
Have you been on the plant TikTok?
No.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I ended up on.
I've seen
TikTok.
A couple of people who name their plants, but
they name their plants, they talk to their plants. In the morning they'll be like, good morning, Joe, or whatever the name is.
Good morning, Joe.
Yeah, but they grow ridiculously beautiful plants, abnormal growth for these little house plants. And I swear, like it's got to be that
We
because
should get some plants and give them names and talk
yeah,
to them.
I know we
We
should.
should test this out. So the next experiment was an IKEA experiment on bullying, which this was done in 2018. And so they conducted an experiment to raise awareness about bullying. So they set up two identical plants in a school. And one plant was, again, talked to with positive affirmations, and the other was talked to like it was given like insults and negative comments. And so they were like treated the same in all other like aspects. So like water, light, soil, like they both had the same amounts, but the only difference was like one was basically being bullied and the other one was people were being nice to the plant. So then after 30 days, the positive plant looked a lot healthier and it was very bright, vibrant and colorful. And the negative one was like very just like wilted and unhealthy and was like dying. And so it really like shows the visual message about like the impact of bullying even
Hmm.
like based on just plants.
Well, and think about too how we can bully ourselves. Like we could be our own worst bully. Like think
Yeah.
about how many times you do something and you're like, man, that was so stupid. Why did I do that? Or like, why did I mess that up? And so, this is like a good reminder to instead of doing that, just give yourself positive affirmations. Like this sounds crazy, but there's so many people that do it and swear by it, but like literally looking in the mirror and saying positive affirmations and how it can completely change everything, like your mindset, the way other people perceive you, um, the way you perform, the way you show up in the world, all from just giving yourself some positive talk in the morning in the mirror.
I actually saw something on that, which it does kind of go with like how the plants grew. And it was basically saying like what you said, but like it can affect how you age.
Oh
I saw
yeah.
something on
Hmm.
that the other day.
Yeah, it can because think about like anytime you have a thought or you say something, you're directing the cells in your body. And like I said earlier with the water experiment, our bodies are made up of water. Our cells, everything needs water. And so if your thoughts and your feelings can change the molecular structure of water, then you really should be thinking about like positive things. So I think like a good way to get in the habit of doing this is with the mirror thing, you could like take post-it notes and put
Oh yeah.
affirmations on your mirror. So that way in the morning when you're brushing your teeth or whatever, you can like read the affirmations out loud or to yourself. Um, Something that I've done before is in my phone, like set reminders like throughout the day. And the reminder like message is an affirmation.
Hmm.
So like there's lots of different ways to do it because we can get in a negative mindset really easily. But again, like I feel like treating this like a science experiment. And so for the whole week, this whole week, set the intention where every single day I'm only going to say positive things myself and to others. I'm going to think positive things. I'm going to only try to find the positive everywhere I go and see how much things change. Because I guarantee people will be nicer to you. You'll feel more confident. You'll feel better about doing things. You'll do better with your schoolwork. Like so much will change. And I would just treat it like a science experiment and see for yourself.
I just thought of, I wonder like how since plants react to how they're being talked to if plants have thoughts about us. Maybe maybe you never know. You could have
You
walked
never
past a
know.
tree and they were insulting you and you just never knew. But
They say that trees communicate to one another. Like it's actually a scientific thing. They
hmm,
communicate to one another. And have you ever seen I see videos all the time of people that will go up and they'll start talking, like saying positive affirmations or talking to a tree, and the leaves will start like literally like moving towards them. And it's like
hmm,
it's a whole thing. They've done studies on that too. But yeah, plants, nature, human beings, animals, everything is all interconnected. It's like this big web of consciousness. And so positive thoughts and feelings can impact everything in the
yeah,
world. It's pretty crazy.
yeah. And going along too with plants growing, because the one thing that can help with that is vitamin D. I feel like a lot of
Mhm.
people don't realize that you'll have a lot more positive thoughts if you get vitamin D compared to if you just sit inside all the time and don't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Even just getting outside for a couple of minutes, going for a quick walk, that'll completely change your mindset. Um, so a good experiment, this would be a good experiment for this week. Find a plant that's wilting, whether it's a plant or like maybe a patch of grass that's brown or just like something that doesn't look like it's doing so great. And then go and say positive affirmations every day and then see if it changes it.
Yeah.
We could try that because we have some like wilting plants somewhere in the back, I'm sure.
We'll try it with the lemon tree, see if the lemon tree grows faster. We've had that thing for like 2 years and it like won't grow any
Yeah.
lemons.
Yeah. Well,
It's
it's
been there
growing
for
green, but
it's
they're just
growing
not
green
yellow yet.
lemons.
Yeah, we should do that. We'll report back to you guys and let you know. This is like a lot of science experiments. I like it. But I
Yeah.
think it's a good way to prove to yourself just how much positive thinking can really change your life.
Yeah.
All right. So go do your science experiment, report back. We'll do the same thing. And we'll see you back here next week.